Have you ever tried to stop thinking and just realized you can't? Not slow it down, not distract yourself, but actually stopping it. And in that moment, something feels off because the thoughts don't listen. They keep coming one after another. This is the strange question. If those thoughts were actually you, why can't you control them? From the moment you wake up, your mind starts talking. Before you even get out of bed, it's already there, reminding you of things, replaying yesterday, planning tomorrow. You brush your teeth, it's talking. You're scrolling, it's talking. You're trying to fall asleep, and it gets even louder. It comments on everything, judges everything, analyzes everything. And most of the time, you don't even notice it. You just assume that voice is you. But here's where things start to shift. Because the moment you actually pay attention, you realize something uncomfortable. You don't choose your thoughts. They just appear, randomly, automatically, relentlessly. A memory pops up, a worry shows up, a scenario plays out in your head. And you didn't decide any of it. It just happened. So if you're not choosing your thoughts, then what's really going on? This is where most people never look. Because thinking feels normal. Constant thinking feels normal. But normal doesn't mean natural. It just means you've been doing it long enough. Your mind isn't just thinking. It's constantly searching, looking for something to focus on, something to solve, something to control. And if there's nothing there, it creates something, a problem, a worry, a what-if scenario. And that's why you can't be sitting in a quiet room. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is actually happening. But your mind starts replaying something from the past, or it tries to imagine something in the future. And suddenly, your body reacts. Your chest tightens, your mood shifts, your energy drops, and all from something that isn't even real. And the craziest part? You follow it without questioning it. One thought leads to another, then another, then another, until you completely lose it. That's the loop. And it's subtle. It's very subtle. Because it doesn't feel like a loop, it feels like you. But if you really look at it, it's the same worries, the same fears, the same conversations in your head, over and over again. Different situations, but the same mental patterns. And this is where it becomes addictive. Not in a way people usually think of addiction, but in a deeper way. Your mind is constantly giving you something to engage with, something to analyze, something to fix, something to control, and you keep going back to it. Even when it stresses you out, even when it drains you, even when it makes you feel worse. Because without it, there's silence, and most people aren't comfortable with that. So instead, they keep thinking. They stay in the noise. They stay in the loop. And slowly, but surely, they start to believe that the voice in their head is who they are. But if you take a step back and really observe it, you'll notice something. The thought appears, and you're aware of it. That awareness isn't thought. It doesn't react. It doesn't judge. It doesn't try to control anything. It just sees. It observes, silently. And in that moment, something shifts. Because instead of being pulled into every thought, you start to see them for what they truly are. Just thoughts. Temporary. Passing. Not you. And the more you see them, the less power they have, and the loop starts to break, little by little. You still think, but it starts to break a little. You're not trapped in it anymore. You still have thoughts, but you're not controlled by them. And for the first time, there's space between you and your mind. And in that moment, you truly see that the addiction starts to lose its grip. Because instead of becoming every thought, you start to see them, just thoughts, passing, very temporary. And they are not you. And here's where it goes even deeper, because once you start seeing this, you begin to notice something else. The thoughts never really stop. They still try to convince you, but now there's distance. It's like watching waves instead of drowning in them. Before, every thought felt urgent. Every thought felt important. Every thought felt like it needed your attention. Now, you start to see. Not every thought deserves a reaction. Not every thought is even useful. And this changes the way you move in life. Because instead of reacting instantly, you pause. Instead of believing everything, you observe. Instead of being controlled, you choose. And that's where the real freedom begins. Because the truth is, your mind will always try to pull you back. back into old patterns, back into overthinking, back into loops you've repeated your whole life. But now you see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You catch it faster. You step out sooner. You don't go as deep. And over time, the grip weakens. The noise fades and something else starts to grow. Quietly, clarity. Not forced clarity. Not something you think your way into, but something that shows up even when the noise isn't there. Because clarity was never missing. It was just buried under all that constant thinking. And the more space you create, the more you start to feel it. A sense of calm that doesn't depend on anything. A sense of presence that isn't tied to thoughts. And for the first time, you're not chasing peace. You're experiencing it. And right there, without needing to fix anything, without needing to figure everything out, just being. And that might feel unfamiliar at first because you've spent so much time living in your head, but the more you stay here and the more natural it becomes, until one day you realize something simple but powerful. You don't need to escape your mind. You just need to stop getting lost in it.